You know, if God is speaking to his people as they're restoring the church, he's speaking to his people now. And he's speaking to us the same way that he speaks to them. My name is Kristy Wheelwright Taylor, and I am the author of Prepare Me for Thy Use, Lessons from Wilford Woodruff's Mission Years. I hope that people reading the book will find inspiration from Wilford Woodruff's path of discipleship. It focuses on his mission years and how the lessons he learned during his mission years, about 12 years span, prepared him for his later leadership. I really tried to focus on using his own words because he was a great storyteller and he was really engaging, and he just lived a really exciting life. So when you get to read how he tells the stories himself, you really get to feel more a part of not just his own life, but the early years of the Restoration. I hope that readers of the book will learn how he came to know the Savior's plan for him. He liked to talk about getting the mind and will of God and practicing on that so that he could act accordingly. And once he could figure that out, he was all in and all go, like 100 miles an hour. I find him really inspirational in that way. Even when he's not focused on himself, he really gives us a great picture of what the early Restoration was like and the dedication of the early saints in the gospel. I work on the Wilford Woodruff papers. I've been researching, and I'm the board secretary, so I do a lot of internal documents and seeing the project from the inside, so I get to see a lot of the documents like from the ground up. And so I started on this particular book when I just really fell in love with Wilford Woodruff. So after several years of working on the project, I felt like I had a lot of background knowledge and a lot of research already done for the book. And so it really was the natural next step, was to write the book and hopefully introduce more people to Wilford Woodruff and the inspiration that he is. Well, I hope that when we study church history, church history can look a little messy sometimes, and it looks like a really long process. But when you can see the hand of the Lord in the process and the steps as it develops, we can also see that that's the same for us. If God is speaking to his people as they're restoring the church, he's speaking to his people now. And he's speaking to us the same way that he speaks to them. In the Doctrine and Covenants, he's saying, my son Oliver, or, my beloved Joseph, or however he's talking to them individually, he's also talking to us individually. And if we can see that pattern repeated through church history, we can see the pattern repeated in our own lives. And I hope that people will find that same inspiration for themselves. I'd say the purpose of the book is to illustrate in mostly Wilford's own words, and there are a lot of letters from Phoebe and some from his friends, but in his own words, what it meant to him to be a disciple and how he learned discipleship and how that influenced his later leadership as a prophet. All of the information from the book came from his own writings, and about 45,000 pages of those are on the wilfordwoodruffpapers.org website. It's just an unbelievable catalog of his life and everything that he wrote and kept track of, because he just wanted to keep a record of everything. He felt like it was his duty to keep a record of all of those things. And they're now all in one place, which is really a great way to see them all and get to know him better.